Clearly, it is a wonderful, warm spring day here in Ann Arbor. And I don't know where the hell I was going with this, but yeah, enjoy the snow. So I recently got into making sourdough, mostly out of necessity, because the past like 4 or 5 times I've gone to the grocery store, there has been no yeast, which makes me sad, but I have gained this skill. I've made bread a few times now, haven't filmed it yet because I wanted to make sure that I knew what I was doing before I like put out a video. Not that anyone's gonna like look at this and use it as an instruction manual to make bread. Like don't do anything that I do. I'm not qualified to teach you how to do anything, but I think I've made some pretty good bread. So this week, bread lesson. So today is Friday. Most important thing to remember for making sourdough is that it takes a lot longer than it does when you use yeast. So I usually keep my starter in the fridge, just so I don't have to like handle it as often. But if I want to make bread this weekend, I need to get the starter out now, let it warm up. See, it's like nice and bubbly. So tonight I will probably, or maybe later this afternoon, I'll feed it again, and then if it's looking good tonight, I can start making the dough. But it takes like 12-ish hours to rise. So I make the dough, let it rise overnight, and then actually do the bread later. Not really related to this video. Here's some bread that I made last week. I'm just crisping it up right now so I can eat it with my soup. This is fine dining. A can of tomato soup and some leftover bread. It is now about 9 p.m. I've separated out some starter and I fed it some more. I don't know, maybe like 3 hours ago. You can see it's getting bubbly again, but it's not quite there yet. So I think I'm gonna wait a couple more hours and then hopefully get some dough ready by the time I go to bed. It is now almost 1 o'clock in the morning, so I guess it's Saturday now, not Friday. Low-key, I meant to do this a lot earlier than right now, but I got carried away doing some MFly stuff. So if anyone on MFly is watching this, you guys better look at my HFSS tutorial because I just spent so many hours working on it instead of making bread. Clearly the bread is the more important thing here. I'm gonna make some bread dough now. I just poured all of my starter from one metal bowl to a slightly different metal bowl. This one's bigger. The sourdough recipe I use is about a cup of water and 4 cups of flour, but I kind of don't measure my starter. I just pour all, like however much I have, I just pour it in the bowl. So I start off by putting like about half of the water into the starter, mixing it all up so it's nice and not clumpy. And then I just put an amount of flour in it. I mean, it's like approximately 4 cups, but not really. Until I'm satisfied. Add more water if I need to, or more flour if it needs more flour. As always, I've spilled flour everywhere. It's a good time. I've already resigned myself to not sleeping this weekend, so yeah. There you have it. Made some bread. Look at this mess I get to clean up now. Bread has been cocooned. It's a little bit cold in here, so I'm slightly worried about it rising, but I'll probably get up in like 8 hours. Then I probably won't actually make the bread until like the afternoon tomorrow, so that should be a sufficient amount of time. It's been less than 12 hours, but the dough actually rose really well last night, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it now. I couldn't find anything to stand my phone on, so you guys didn't get to see me actually making the loaf, but here it is. It's round this time because I did square ones the last 2 times and I wanted it to be different. I'm just gonna let it sit for a little while, then like cut it and put more salt on it. Yeah. It's probably the least artistic bread cutting that has ever existed, but I'm about to put this in the oven. Also in the oven is this pan of water. Probably should add more water to it. I don't have a Dutch oven, so in order to make steam in the oven, I just do that, because if you don't have any steam while it's cooking, the outside of the bread will cook really quickly before the rest of the bread is ready, and then you get sad. Bread is complete. I think I need to work on shaping it better because it got a little deformed and like pointy. I'm sure it still tastes good. So if you watched all of this, I don't know why you watched it, but smash that like button. I hate myself.